First, fast, accurate. You're watching WSBT 22 News, first in the morning.
There's a powerful new movement, a documentary that's trying to encourage young women to become the next generation of political leaders. Here's a brief clip from Raising Ms. President.
This is still an issue. We still have this dynamic where young women are not seen as leaders in a lot of professions, particularly in politics that's so public. And we have to get more young women to become those leaders, to be role models, but really change the dynamic for people to see that young women are able to do these things and they need to be part of these conversations. They need to be at the table making policy. They need to be discussing what their lives are like.
I just want to say that. So interesting, and this morning we have two special guests. Sonalini, you're an assistant professor of political studies and political science and gender studies at St. Mary's College. Thank you so much for joining us. And Jill LaFountain, director of Girl Scouts of Indiana and Michigan, the director of advancement. Am I correct about that?
Correct.
Goodness gracious, so many titles. And thank you, ladies, for being here. We're talking about how important this issue is, and there's an event coming up on Wednesday to do that. Tell me a little bit about that event.
Sure. So essentially, you know, the U.S. has made a lot of advances in gender equality, but particularly in the level of political representation, we still see a big gap. So women are 50% of the U.S. population, but only represented in 20% of Congress. And so this documentary kind of highlights why that might be the case. You know, what is the political ambition gap that exists between young girls and young boys? And right now, even though when women run for office, they do as well as men do. They tend to fundraise at equal capacity, but they tend to not run. And so this documentary explores some of the reasons why young girls, young women don't tend to run for political office, and explores what could be done about it.
So the documentary will be shown on Wednesday.
That's right.
And then there will be a panel discussion.
That's right.
And who's speaking?
So we have three special panelists. One is Mayor Blair Milo from LaPorte. We also have Dr. Elizabeth Benyon from IUSB, and Councilwoman Diana Hess from St. Joseph County Council.
All this is put on by the Girl Scouts and by St. Mary's College.
Correct.
And, you know, it's really interesting, all that information. It's also about encouraging the girls to be what they want to be and
right.
to lead our generation.
That's right.
Are you hearing from girls? What are you hearing from them about what are some of the challenges?
Sure. So typically, some of the reasons why young women don't run is that they don't actually get that tap on the shoulder. Even if they're extremely qualified, they don't typically get that tap on the shoulder saying, you are great political office material, like you should consider a career in politics. Studies have shown that when women are actively recruited, they do tend to run for political office. Another thing the documentary kind of highlights is the important role that parents can play, that from a young age, you know, talk to young girls about politics and current events, and encourage them to maybe join their student government offices, whether at the high school level or at the college level. You know, parents play an important role in shaping the future ambitions of their girls and their boys. And so I think that's one of the great things about the documentary is encouraging parents to talk to young girls about pursuing careers in political office.
So interesting. So who do you want to come to Wednesday's documentary and panel? Are you looking for parents of girls? Are you looking
Absolutely.
for the girls themselves?
Both. The documentary is, it's interesting, I think, for adults especially, but also for girls to see that, to see girls who are, you know, the same age as them, considering the career in politics and the importance of it. So it can be anyone from, you know, maybe junior high-ish, 5th, 6th grade on up. I think everybody would find something a little bit interesting about it, and kind of exciting.
Yeah, and hopefully it changes some minds and
right.
some hearts.
Right.
If you want to go and see it, where and when, and does it cost any money?
It is free and open to the public, and it is going to be on the St. Mary's College campus.
That's right. It's going to be in Carroll Auditorium in Madaleva Hall. It's completely free. There's going to be some popcorn and also some Girl Scout cookies as well. And so that's an added attraction. And yes, it starts at 6:30, and the documentary itself is about 50 minutes, and then we'll lead right into panel right after the documentary. So about a 2-hour event from 6:30 to 8:30.
Both going to be very interesting to hear and watch. Thank you ladies so much
Thank you
for joining us. We appreciate it.